And now this, a 4-year-old girl found all alone on our southern border. She was rescued by Border Patrol after human traffickers left her behind on a riverbank. Her parents nowhere to be found. This comes after I was sent this video of a suspected Mexican cartel member appearing to aim an AK-47 at a Texas Department of Public Safety helicopter. Listen to the crew's reaction. Watch this.
Romeo Zulu units, the red SUV. I think it's in between you guys and
you're gonna record
they have an AK-47 they just pointed at us.
Moments later, a deadly gunfight breaks out between cartel members and the Mexican military. 5 suspects were reportedly killed. Joining me right now is the Texas Department of Public Safety Lieutenant Christopher Olivarez. Lieutenant, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much. You've been really protecting the state of Texas and the country now for a long time, dealing with situations like this. Can you take us behind those pictures? What happened there with that cartel member holding an AK-47 up to the helicopter?
Right. So good morning, Maria, and great to be with you. So what we're seeing right now is these events that have taken place along the southern border with these transnational criminal organizations. We saw it play out last year when we started seeing suspected gunmen along the riverbanks taunting National Guard, displaying their weapons. And then most recently, the beginning of this year, we saw several events that took place where suspected gunmen from Mexico shot at Border Patrol. And right now, what you're seeing on the screen right there is what happened last week with our Texas DPS helicopter patrolling over the Rio Grande River, and suspected gunmen, cartel gunmen, pointing an AK-47 at our DPS helicopter, resulting in a gun battle with the Mexican military. So it goes to show the acts of violence, the acts of how these cartels feel so emboldened right now to conduct these acts that they're doing by showing these intimidation tactics that they've been doing since the beginning of this border crisis. But again, you know, what took place this week with our Texas DPS helicopter shows zero tolerance that the state of Texas is not going to tolerate any acts of violence towards law enforcement. And that's why we have a great working relationship with the government of Mexico. They're able to identify and locate these suspected gunmen and resulted in a gun battle.
Well, a couple of things. I want to get your take on the number of terrorists coming in through that wide open border. But before that, I was told a couple of months ago that there was a merger underway. I know that it was the Gulf cartel that was running the southern border for a long time, running the trafficking of humans and drugs, but they were being absorbed into a larger cartel, and that larger cartel has military-like equipment. I'm talking about tanks and AK-47s. Is that merger one of the reasons that things are getting more dangerous? Do you feel that things are getting more dangerous with more sophisticated weaponry of these drug cartels recently?
It is getting more dangerous. And right down that specific area where we see these events play out, you have two cartels that are fighting each other. Not only that, but also they're battling with the Mexican military. So that's why we're seeing these events take out. We've seen video where, you know, these cartels have military-grade weapons. You mentioned it, tanks, armored vehicles, high-powered rifles, even rocket launchers. I mean, they're very sophisticated, and also the technology they have using drones. So we're starting to see this increase and escalate throughout this border crisis. And it's only going to get worse, unfortunately.
Well, in a blow to the Biden administration, a federal judge ruled yesterday that it's illegal to pick and choose which migrants can be detained and deported. Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas instructed ICE agents late last year to prioritize migrants with serious criminal histories, deciding that being in the country illegally was not enough reason to be deported, Lieutenant. What can you tell us about who's going back and who's staying? Because I know that at this point, this administration wants to reverse Title 42. Give us your sense of what would happen if Title 42 goes away completely. And are they actually returning people to Mexico as the court ordered, or are they slow walking that?
Well, Maria, they're slow walking that. We thought there was going to be a significant impact when the reinstatement with the Remain in Mexico policy was put back in place. But again, they're slow walking it. We haven't seen a decrease in numbers. And I'll just put this in context for you and the viewers. For fiscal year 2021, from October through February, there was 397,000 apprehensions, encounters throughout the border. Right now, the same time frame, 5 months, October through February for fiscal year 22, there's already well over 840,000 encounters along the southern border. So that's more than double than what we saw last year. So we thought last year was complete chaos. 2022 is going to be catastrophic. And right now, what we're receiving information is there's mass releases that are being taken place, especially in the Del Rio sector, where they're just overwhelmed with capacity in these facilities. So right now they're mass releasing not only families, but also single adults into the United States. So it's only going to get worse. And the policies right now, they're not following through with the policies. And that's the issue right now. And of course, with the anticipation of Title 42 going away, it's going to be complete chaos. It's going to open up the floodgates. And right now we need to brace ourselves on what's going to take place this year. And that's why, again, with Governor Abbott, what he's been able to do with Operation Lone Star and working with our federal partners, we're continuing to expand operations along the southern border and do what we can to help our federal partners and also safeguard the state of Texas and also the United States.
It's just extraordinary that they want to do away with Title 42, and we know that that is going to further open up the floodgates of people coming in. How many of those people are terrorists? I reported the other day what Marsha Blackburn told me, the senator from Tennessee, told me that they have evidence that already 34 people were caught trying to get in, and they were terrorists. They're on the terrorist list. House Republicans are pushing for more information on the number of migrants encountered at the border who are on the terrorist database. Lieutenant, what can you tell us about the number of terrorists who were encountered, and what are your thoughts there? When I was with you last year, when I met you at the border, you also gave a stunning statistic to us. You told me that the drug cartels are making, what, $100 million a week? Tell me what the drug cartels are reeling in terms of the money of this business of trafficking humans and drugs. And what about the terrorists, Lieutenant?
Right, so we know it's a multi-billion-dollar trade, just human smuggling. We're not even talking about narcotics. That's one thing that people need to understand, is that because of this current border crisis, it has opened up so much opportunities for these criminal organizations to profit off of human smuggling. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we're going to continue to see. And the numbers reflect that. When we talk about the terrorists, our DPS personnel have encountered suspected terrorists on some of these private ranches that we are working. Right now, we have made over 3,300 arrests on these private ranches for criminal trespass. And it's a very important initiative that the governor launched, because these individuals are trespassing, traversing through these private ranches, trying to make it further into the interior, going undetected. These are part of the gotaways. So that's why it's very important. It's a national security threat to know and to provide that transparency to the American people of the people that are coming across, these suspected terrorists, these gang members, cartel members that are coming across our borders that are going undetected. So there needs to be more transparency provided to the American people on what's really taking place along the southern border, because there's a lot going on right now that the American people are not aware of because of lack of transparency.
Unbelievable. So, I mean, 34 is the number that I got from Senator Blackburn in terms of the number of actual people on the terrorist watch list as a result of this open border. Lieutenant, this is a dereliction of duty on this White House. We so appreciate you and your work and your team at the DPS. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. Thank you.